Hello, Kit. Hello, Michael. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna follow the protocol. My name is Joe. I'm from Morocco. I'm 22 years of age, and I engage with the market with the opening range gap targeting the 50% of it and using the first presence for value gap. You hear me, Kit?
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. I
Good.
appreciate that. How would you like
Yeah.
to tap in today?
Yeah, I just wanna get advice from Michael because like of what happens like this week. If you remember, Kit, I was like I broke up with my girl and stuff like that, and I get lost mentally, like in a market, and I don't know what to do next.
Yes, yes. I mean, Joe Trades came on to Trader Roundup. We had a previous discussion with him, and he's pretty much asking for Michael's take on um, on a discussion that we had previously. Joe, you could feel free to maybe recap or refresh. I mean, Michael, it has to do with relationships. I mean, it's a legit question, and he's tapping in and asking your thoughts and 2 cents. So
It's a breakup or just an ongoing relationship that's toxic. I didn't get what it was. I'm sorry.
yeah, Joe, provide a little bit more detail for Michael, a
Yeah,
little bit more
absolutely.
context, pretty please.
Yeah, absolutely. So I was with this girl for like about like 2 years now, and I was like thinking about, we were thinking about um getting married and stuff like that. So recently I got a job like three months ago, and I am trading at the meantime. So I work during the night, I trade during the day. So she said, "You don't have enough time for me, so like it's just trading or me." And she put me in that situation, which is like I have to like choose one of like the two. I didn't say yes, I didn't say no. So she said, "I'm not gonna be with you like anymore." So yeah, and I went to the market. This was like Sunday night. On the next day, it was like Monday. So I went to the market. I blew all my accounts, and since then, like it was like only losing, losing, losing after losing.
Well, I've done some series on my YouTube channel on these types of topics, but I will tell you this: it's very difficult to manage family. It's very difficult to manage relationships because the market is a cruel lover. And if you have an ongoing relationship prior to wanting to learn how to trade, you're going to see competition between who you're with and that strong tug of war of wanting to get close to what these candlesticks are doing. They're like sirens. Okay, they're going to sing to you. They're going to lure you into the deep waters to drown you if you let them. And you have to make boundaries. You have to establish that. Otherwise, you're not really respecting who you're with. And in the beginning, you get drunk with the idea that, hey, look, if I work really hard and show them efforts being rewarded, they'll get it. They'll understand. And I can tell you that that doesn't work like that. It doesn't matter how much money they see you make. It never matters because they want you available. They want you to be aware that they have the precedence over everything else. Like it's the relationship and then trading too. But trading is secondary. And it's very difficult to manage that. I failed miserably in it. Like I did not do a good job as a dad doing it. I did not do a good job as a husband. I didn't do a good job as an employee. Like I did all those things that I tell you don't do it this way because I paid prices that were too high. But I'll say this: now that you found yourself in the situation, trading is not going to fix that pain. It doesn't matter how much money you make; it isn't going to fix that pain. It isn't going to make the regret, if you have any, go away. It doesn't make her come back. If she made the decision to go away, then you have to respect that. If she's yours, she'll come back. And it won't matter if you're trading or not. Maybe time away from each other and you still working on yourself, not just in trading, but also in time management, life management skills. You have to find a way. You sound like you're a young guy. I think that having you know an awareness of being a better manager of time, which I also did a series on as well, you will become more effective, not only as a trader, but you'll be more effective as a family member. a spouse, a significant other, a husband, and if you're a woman, the same thing for you. Just because it happens to other people and it hasn't happened to you yet, it's real easy to dismiss this stuff. I get a lot of people, if I talk about these types of things, the comment section was always like littered with, bro, this, nobody cares about your opinion about this. And that's somebody that's still washing dishes somewhere. Okay. That's somebody that's not really doing anything in life. Okay. They're probably still living at home and they have a video game mindset mentality. But when you have a relationship with someone and they do mean something to you, it's important for you to have a discussion about what your motivations are. Because if you're just saying, I'm going to try to make a lot of money, I could do this, how are they a part of that? Because what they're going to hear is, yeah, I get it, you're trying to make more money, but you're trying to make more money. That pursuit is more important to you than you spending any of your free time with me. That's how it doesn't matter if it's a man or a woman as your significant other. That's the interpretation they're going to have, because that's what you basically chested them up against this. And what's worse is they can't see it. So it makes it worse. They will dwell on it more and more and more because they can't personify it. It's just something that you're pursuing. It's not even like they're catching you cheating with someone else. They're just seeing you online, looking at these lines, and they can't get it. They don't understand it. And this barrier to understanding needs to be communicated in the beginning. If you're in a relationship, you need to sit down and say, hey, look, this is what I'm pursuing. And this is my motivation. I want us to have better, but I don't want to go beyond what you're allowing our relationship to endure from your perspective. And it may require you to come back and say, okay, I understand that. I respect the boundaries that you're trying to establish, but for me to be able to do this, I may need a little bit more than you're willing to do. Would you more or less work out another agreement where we can't see this as a source of contention that would cause a problem? Because clearly now you know what it feels like to be in a unsettling situation because it's hard to focus. And you're going to try to replace these uncomfortable feelings with winning money. And even if you do win money, that's the worst thing you can do, because now you have established the very thing whoever you're with thinks is going on. You're looking at the reward of money and the pursuit of that money as a greater purpose in life than the relationship being with that person. And it's even worse if it's a child, because they don't know how to articulate it at all. And they're not going to be like your spouse or significant other, where they can cut you off. Your children aren't going to cut you off, but your significant other would. And then to the extreme, they leave. And having that absence, that ache and that regret, I wish I would have done things differently. If they just would have gave me more time and then they let me prove that I'm going to do better by doing this, and we'll be able to do more things. We'll travel. We'll be able to afford the bills better. It won't be a source of stress. They can't see it like that. They can't see it like that. And even if you do show money like that, they're going to want to see you say, okay, I'm making lots of money, but I want to spend more time with you now that you have that money. But what happens is, as traders, we get lustful and we chase more of that. It's the ecstasy of gold. You lose the plot. You start off with the sales pitch that this is for us. But as soon as you start winning, it's about you. Because in the deepest part of your mind, you know that even if they don't want to stay with you, I don't need them. Look what I can do. I don't need them. And I'm somebody in the industry. I can come out and go on social media. I can say, this is what I've made. My friends see me as something that they want to be like. There's always another fish in the sea. I'll find somebody else. And you start minimizing what you never would have minimized had you not been making money, because you love that person. You genuinely care about that person. But now you don't love them more than trading. It's the love of money that's the root of all evil, not money itself. It's the love of money. That's the root of all evil. So when you fall in love with money, you're in love with one thing. That's the thing, is that you're going to worship that. Everything about your life is going to be that. It's going to be your God. It's going to be your mistress. It's going to be your lover, your best friend. You're going to pour everything into it. You're going to bring everything to it as well. Your hopes, your dreams, your fears. And you're going to lay everything at its altar. And you're going to lay down everything in your life to make it happy. Because you want more of that. Because you have falsely attributed that success in making money is who you are. And that person you're with is never going to see you that way. But you start building this false image of yourself and you start pursuing it. You start building it up and building it up, more foundation, establishing something that is not true. And you build a lie that you start believing. And you blame the people you're with because they can't see you as that person when you're really not that person. These markets are like scrying mirrors. That means it's like a black bowl and you're staring into it. And you're going to see what you want to see. You're going to cast a vision of yourself. And if you're fearful and you're undisciplined, you're going to see an unprofitable losing trader, and it's going to materialize and manifest itself. If you're a rule-based trader and you see yourself following a model that's proven itself, and you are a worthwhile person to be with in a relationship, you're going to balance your time. I can only look at these markets an hour a day in trading because my relationship has boundaries on it right now. And then at the end of the day, I can have 15, 20 minutes of recap and note taking, and that's it. And they know when I'm doing it. They know when I sit down in front of this computer that I'm going to put it down because it's their time and they get the majority of it. And you will keep your life balanced. A balanced life is important because if it's imbalanced, it doesn't matter what you learn from me or anyone else. It doesn't matter because all it takes is one small little thing to enter into your subconscious, some fear, some doubt, some concern, some, I better spend more time. I could see that look on their face and they're letting me know, but they haven't said it, but you see it. But then as soon as you're looking at these charts, boom, play the romantic music again. It's like seeing, the dream lover enter the room. Oh, it's all about them. And that's what they see. They see us in love with something that's not personified by anything. So it's even harder for them to reconcile that. And because they don't understand it, and they can't understand your passion, your faith in a future self, they don't see it. They can't see it. And you don't really believe it yet either because you're trying to flesh it out. It makes it very difficult to overcome that. So I just know by the pain and suffering I caused myself and my own personal family, the hardships and the vacancy I created, I can only tell you what I learned from it, but I can't tell you how to do it yourself. You just got to be mindful of what they're willing to endure. Be open about it in a conversation so that way they can't be mad at you because you sat down with them. And if it needs to be revisited and you have to augment the times that you spend doing it, then you revisit it. But if they're going to be unwilling to do it, then you have to bring that up to them and say, look, I really see this as an opportunity. And if you're saying I can't do this, you're going to have to find some kind of flexibility here because I can't abandon it entirely. And it would be unreasonable for anyone as a spouse to say, you can't do any of this while trying to learn something. It's like saying, you can't go to college, you can't go to trade school, you can't do a better job, can't take another higher paying job because it doesn't fit my expectation of you. So it's not an easy thing to answer. And I don't really have the answers for it, but I can just tell you that I went through that stuff. And I wish I would have did things differently. And the way I would have done it differently is what I said in those videos on YouTube.
Thank you so much, Michael. Thank you so much for your